Hi, I'm Austin. Welcome to the post-game fan reaction of the Edmonton Oilers against the Chicago Blackhawks. Am I happy tonight? Technically, yes. The Oilers are now 4 points up on Vegas for first in the Pacific. That's great. That's all really good. I just don't understand why this team can't win a normal hockey game. You're up 3-1 in the third. You're up 3-1 in the third period. You take one penalty. You don't score on your first three power plays. You take one penalty, and Chicago's right back in it. Right back in it. And then they tie it up late. That's fun. And then, hey, don't worry. The Oilers, they end up winning the game anyways, like they usually do. They've been doing this all season long. But why on God's green earth can this team not just win a normal game? Why? Just get a lead of 2 or 3 goals and hold it. My heart literally cannot take it. Anyways, hi. We'll be serious for now. The Oilers do win in overtime 4-3 against the Chicago Blackhawks, and ugly game. Just an ugly, ugly game. I know the Oilers are on the second half of back-to-back. I know they're still probably technically dealing with that flu bug. Adam Henrique sat out against St. Louis last night, was in the lineup tonight for Edmonton. Noah Philp took a seat. I don't know, man. Obviously, there are positives to take out of this game. Jeff Skinner, for one. I hope he never leaves the top 6 ever again. He had a goal. He had an assist. He was instrumental in this team even having a 3-1 lead. He was the only real player other than Draisaitl who was getting some good looks in that top 6. But the Oilers as a team tonight, I don't know, man. I want to be excited. I want to be happy, right? You want to celebrate the wins. You always want to celebrate the wins. You want to be happy when this team wins because now you're 4 up on Vegas and that's so great. But I'm exhausted. I'm legitimately exhausted from watching this team, and there's still 2 months to go in this season. There's still 2 months to go. I just want to see this team win some games comfortably. No disrespect to the Chicago Blackhawks, by the way. I think Chicago is a team that they are learning what they need to do to win hockey games. This is a game where they almost came back and won. This is a game where Connor McDavid didn't have his best game, but he was still effective when he was on the ice. For the Edmonton Oilers, though, you're a bona fide cup contender. You're 3rd place in the NHL standings. You're 1st place in the Pacific Division. And I'm sorry. Maybe I'm being really harsh here, and maybe I'm being way too harsh. And there's going to be people that come into the comments and be like, yo, you need to relax. Like, it's almost the 4 nations. Team's in a good spot. They're winning. What are we worried about? I'm not worried so much as I'm just annoyed. I'm mildly annoyed at how this team plays, especially against teams like way below them in the standings. I'm not talking about a team that is like maybe 10 points behind them in the standings. No, I'm talking about like teams that are in the bottom of the standings. They find a way to elevate their game, and the Oilers find a way to drop their game. The Oilers started this game with McDavid and Draisaitl on different lines. That's a really good thing. That's great news. That's something that we obviously talk about a lot on this channel, something that I talk a lot about on this channel. That was really good. But man, oh man, they had so many opportunities to just put this game away. As I mentioned earlier in this video, they had 3 power plays that they could have just completely taken over the game. They could have been up 3-0 after 2, maybe even 4-0, right? Like this is a game where the Oilers could have just been up way, way more than Chicago and prevented them from even getting a sniff of a point in overtime. Obviously, I'm happy that the Oilers won, right? Like, obviously, I'm extremely happy that the Edmonton Oilers won. I'm happy that they found a way to get it done in overtime on the power play, which had been struggling. They also gave up a goal against on the penalty kill. I think they've given up 4 straight goals on the penalty kill now, which is not good. That penalty kill is looking pretty shaky. I hope the coaching staff during the 4 Nations tweaks something. There's something going on with that penalty kill. We're going to take a look at the NHL Edge visualizer goals. We'll kind of discuss the ebbs and flows of this game because Edmonton came out of the gate very, very slow. They picked up their game in the second. It ended up being tied after the second period. When the Oilers were up 3-1, I thought this is perfect. There's no way Chicago's coming back. And that's on me. That's on me as a fan. I shouldn't just assume that this team can close things out. But good teams do find a way to win, right? Like that's the thing here. Good teams find a way to win, and the Oilers did find a way to win. So we'll take a look at the NHL Edge visualizer, and then we'll wrap things up because it is late. The start time of this game was almost a half hour later than what was scheduled, so I'll wrap things up for everyone after the Edge visualizer here. First goal was Victor Arvidsson, who will be representing Team Sweden in the Four Nations with an absolute snipe, by the way. And I love to see Janmark get an assist here, but he finds Janmark Arvidsson in the circle, and he just rifles it short side over Soderblom's shoulder. What a nice shot by Victor Arvidsson. And then Lucas Reichel, he ties the game. Kasperi Kapanen, he had a wonderful opportunity with the one-timer, missed the net. Chicago comes up the ice, and there's a shot towards the goal, and it's tipped in by Reichel in front of Pickard. Not much Pickard can do there. The one thing I didn't like is the back check of Leon Draisaitl here. If you take a look at the Edge visualizer, like look at Draisaitl, look at McDavid, and here's Draisaitl on the back check. He's coming in. I don't know. Like it wasn't a quick back check, and McDavid was even further behind Draisaitl on that one. Your two big guns who you rely on a lot to, provide offense. The big guns for Edmonton just weren't there until they needed to be there, I guess. Yes, Draisaitl and Skinner connected on a couple goals in the third period, which is terrific. I thought McDavid, I know he got the assist on the game winner from Zach Hyman. Again, I just thought Edmonton's big guns didn't have a great game tonight. Jeff Skinner ended up scoring in the third period to give the Oilers the initial lead. Podkolzin, great shift here, brings it in down low, and then he cycles it around the net to Draisaitl. Draisaitl centers it to Skinner, who gets in behind the defense, goes to his backhand. Silky smooth hands from Jeff Skinner, by the way. Love to see that. I love to see Jeff Skinner get a couple points. If they take Jeff Skinner out of the top six for any reason moving forward, I'm not going to be happy with Chris Knobloch. Right? I love Chris Knobloch. I think he's a great coach. I think what he's done with Jeff Skinner has been very positive in terms of his impact on the game. He wanted Skinner to be better defensively, and he's been great defensively. He gets that elevation into the top six, and he rewards that coaching staff with a goal and an assist, which you absolutely love to see. It was this goal specifically, though, from Draisaitl that I love Jeff Skinner on. Look at him. He understands. He's reading the play. He's already getting back because he sees that the Oilers lost the puck, but then he strips it from number 73 on Chicago, gives it to Draisaitl, who puts it through the 5-hole of Soderblom for his 38th of the season. And Leon Draisaitl overtakes the NHL scoring lead against Nathan MacKinnon. He is now 1 point up on Nathan MacKinnon. And it is also the 7th straight season that Draisaitl has hit 80 points or more, which is the second most all time for non-Canadian and U.S. born players, I think is the stat that I saw from Twitter or Sportsnet. I can't remember who tweeted it out. Ryan Donato, he tipped the puck in on the power play for Chicago at 12 in the third. There's a play, comes to Jones. Bedard, he works it around, goes in front, and Bedard ends up getting an assist on that. I mentioned Bedard had kind of a tough game, but he did have an impact when it mattered. And then Alec Martinez, he ended up tying the game with about 4 minutes left in the third period. On this specific goal, I'm going to pause it quick. On this specific goal, the visualizer's not going to show it, but both Ty Emerson and Darnell Nurse had numerous opportunities to get that puck out of the zone, and they were unable to clear. Darnell Nurse especially, he had two real good looks to just, I don't care if you ice it in this situation, you're defending a 1-goal lead, just throw the puck down the ice, get a breather, reset, maybe you win the face-off and you can get a high flip to center and then get your change. But Darnell Nurse, real tough shift here. I'm not calling him out in general because I thought he played fine. But again, that's one of those situations where Darnell Nurse and Ty Emerson, they really struggled at getting the puck up to their forwards. Connor McDavid, I think that was the second or third goal against he'd been on the ice for in the game. But no worries, Zach Hyman on the power play in overtime after Chicago had too many men on the ice. McDavid, he tries to shoot initially. Puck goes off of a body. He gets it back to Bouchard. Bouchard back to McDavid, and then he finds Hyman in front of the crease, top of the crease. Little just tip into the net. Would have loved to see Draisaitl get another point on that. But the Oilers, they do come away with the win. Again, I don't want to come across as like too negative here. But in terms of how Edmonton played, it's just one of those games where I wasn't very happy. Connor McDavid, he ends up finishing the night with a point, but he was a -2. And it's just, you want more from your top players. you want a little bit more. Jeff Skinner was really good to see. I love that he was able to finally play more than 10 minutes in a game. He played 15, 27, goal and an assist, a +2 rating, which is fantastic. You love to see that. I'm happy the Oilers won, right? Like, I don't know. Sometimes I give the wrong impression. Sometimes when like people watch my videos, they're like, you're kind of negative. Am I though? Like, this is a team that should, no offense to Chicago, that you should really be able to just completely take over a game and just pound them, really. And credit to Soderblom, he made some big saves, but credit to Calvin Pickard too, right? Calvin Pickard had to make some big saves on his own. I don't know what the advanced stats say yet. I haven't had a chance to look. But if we take a look at the NHL standings here, the Oilers are in third place in the overall standings. They have 72 points now. They're 5 behind Washington. Washington does have a game in hand, and they are 7 points back of Winnipeg. The Oilers have 1 game in hand on the Jets, who have won 7 in a row and have a +67 goal differential because Connor Hellebuck is insane, and Winnipeg also scores a ton of goals. Winnipeg's been unbelievable this season. These are two teams that I have, gotten some interesting feedback from. I have posted on social media recently that I think Winnipeg and Washington are both candidates to lose in the first round. Not that I don't respect them, but we'll dive into the advanced stats and I'll do a power rankings video, and I'm going to give my reasons why in a future video. And then if we take a look at the division standings, of course, we'll just scroll down to the Edmonton Oilers because I just want to take a look at the Pacific. They are now 4 points up on Vegas. Vegas has won 2 of their last 10. The Oilers are on a 2-game win streak. They have 1 game left before the Four Nations face-off, and hopefully they take advantage of that and they're able to win. Keep building this lead. They're 12 points up on the Kings, who last I checked were winning against the Montreal Canadiens. We can quickly take a look at the real-time score. It is now 3-1 LA over Montreal in the third period as of this recording. So LA likely wins. The Oilers have played 4 more games than the Kings. The Kings cannot catch Edmonton with their games in hand, but the Oilers still have to focus on winning games. They do play Colorado on Friday. That is the last game before the Four Nations. I will be live during that game, by the way. I was supposed to go live tonight. I was having internet issues. My upload speed wasn't at a level where I would have been able to do a proper live stream without the video feed being pretty ugly, choppy, or possibly cutting out entirely. And it's just because of the cold weather. So I do apologize for that. I still owe the community 10 gifted memberships because I did forget this victory chain last night against the Blues. I will not forget this ever again. I promise. The wink, because I likely will forget it at some point. I just want to thank everyone who continues to tune in and show support. It means the absolute world to me. So thank you all once again for tuning in. Make sure you tell someone that you love them before you go to bed tonight or sometime during the day if you're watching this the day after. And of course, as always, fight like a kid, fight like Ben. Let's go Oilers. Big win, sketchy win. Not happy about it, but I am happy about it. You know what I'm saying? We'll see you in the next one.